Satnam, I'm Nirvair, and here we are in March of 2019. You know, they've got this expression in the West anyway about the weather in March. You know, comes in like a lamb, leaves like a lion, comes in like a lion, leaves like a lamb. Usually it has to do with the fierceness of the weather, but it's a great illustration of polarity because we really think and live in terms of polarity. And Yogi Bhajan's definition of a person who does yoga, who's a yogi, is someone that is beyond the opposites, that has come to a reconciliation of the opposites, who can live with the paradoxes. But in order to actually really do that, it's a little bit harder than it looks. It takes time, it takes unfolding, it takes discipline, and especially it really what it requires you is to actually have control of your mind so that you're using your mind and your mind is not using you. And to practice this, because your mind is so active all the time, and it's actually very limited in terms of its scope. You know, it loves to contrast, it loves to compare, it loves to plan, it loves to drag up the past, all these kinds of things, is that in order to actually work with the activity of the mind, you have to still the mind every once in a while. You have to get into this place of relaxed, fewer thoughts and living in the present moment. It's called shunya. And so one of the wonderful ways of getting into like a shunya state, and that's what these kriyas will do for you, especially these ones that relate to prana and pranayams, and that is breathing exercises. You do a powerful breathing exercise and it puts you in that place where there is no past, there is no future, there's just you in this moment of time. And then you allow yourself to grow and expand in that moment in time. And all of a sudden then there is no separation between you and everything that exists. And that's the state of yoga. It's that state of union. So this kriya that we're going to do today, this is an early one, March 19th, 1979. And once again, I recommend you go to the Yogi Bhajan Library of Teachings and practice it with the class. You know, there's something about practicing with him in person. There's something about practicing with a group of people that really does elevate you. It was a formula that Yogi Bhajan gave is, first of all, you have individual consciousness, then you go to group consciousness, then you go to universal consciousness. So practicing with the group is enlivening, and engages with you kind of getting out of yourself and getting into that flow of something larger than you are. So go to the Library of Teachings and practice this. So this is a pranayam, and we'll do the Tunan mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. And then there's a very specific mudra. You're going to take your hands and you're going to take the thumbs and place them on the mercury mound, right? The mercury mound, this is the mercury finger underneath it like this. And then you make a tent out of the hands. He actually called this a Buddhist temple, and then he said he was relating more to what Westerners can relate to an A-frame. And then you press the thumbs together. It's a little bit uncomfortable to have the thumbs pressed together. And then you lift your elbows up high. It's out in front of the body at about shoulder width, collarbone height. In this position, your eyes are going to be at the tip of the nose. And you're going to inhale in 8 sniffs, 8 segments. And then you're going through the nose. And then you're going to exhale through the mouth. And he kept pace with it with the class by using the mantra Ong. So he would chant with the pace, Ong, 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 Sohung. That's what he mostly did. He kind of did it on and off while people were practicing for the 11 minutes. So there's not really a mental mantra that he talked about with this, but he did use that as pacing. So with the eyes at the tip of the nose, you're going to inhale inhale in 8, exhale in 1, and it's about this pace. And then right at the end, you're going to stretch up 3 big stretches with the breath held in. And then once you're done with those 3, once again, I want you to sit down like we did last month and bring yourself into that 0 state where there's no ego, where there's not a lot of thoughts, where when you start thinking about things and you're following a pattern of thought, you stop it and you bring yourself into the moment of stillness and hold that for as long as you can. What he said about this Kriya is that will help you link up with your pranic body. Your pranic body, when it's active, means you have a lot of energy, you're fearless, and with this particular Kriya, you're able to balance the elements in the body, the tattvas of earth and ether. If you're too earthy, then you're stuck, and so you need this pranic energy so that you can stay uplifted. So we'll do this for 11 minutes for this month of March, and I'll enjoy doing it with you. Sat Nam.